Rules. It has zero welding, all-strip body. It was only seatbelts. We added a new car to our collection today. This right here, I believe, is a 2000 Toyota Camry. Now this car we actually owned before, but I gave it to my brother because this winter he rode off his Audi A3. I think it was an A4 actually. Anyway, he needed a car, so I basically just traded him a smashed up Audi for this car. And this car was in really good shape when I gave it to him. It had a valid E-test. It passed safety, no problem. Basically, it was a great car. And in about 4 months, he's wrecked this car. So let's see what this car's condition is like now. Okay, so let's start this thing up. Okay, so first off, the engine light's on now. Which, you know what, I really don't expect him not to fix that. It's a shitty car, you shouldn't have to fix stuff like that. Second, there's no brakes. Third, let's put it into gear. Where do you watch my foot on the clutch? Right about there is where she starts grabbing. So she grabs right at the end of her clutch. Now the next problem, because something's wrong with the engine, look at this thing idle. Give it some gas. It sounds like there's a dead cylinder, but there's not a dead cylinder. So I'm gonna have to do some looking into this to see what it is. Now this is a 4-cylinder model, so these things are the ones that everybody wants for demolition derby. A couple little things that I know about this car. One, there is no power steering, so that's not too big of a concern for me. Usually I cut those belts off anyway. Two, this thing here, I pulled all the plugs and it seems that you can hear each plug dying as I pull them out. So that's not the issue with the dead cylinder. But the one thing I did notice is that looks disgusting. But it's not low on fluid, so I don't know if he's been putting water in there or if the head's gone or something like that. I'm gonna have to contact him, but I bet you it's something to do with thermostat that's making this car go all crazy. But hopefully I can build one of these Toyota Camrys for you soon on this channel, because these cars are one of the most common cars here in Ontario now to be taken into mini smash because they're so tough. So I'll show you guys what a lot of people do to these. Just simple things like getting rid of this. Now if you guys don't know what this is your cruise control. But your throttle comes through your floor into your cruise control and then to your intake. So I'll show you how to bypass all that. I'll show you how to get rid of half your intake. Even though this one does have a really nice intake, I might keep it for a different project. Like, look at that, that's money. Someone's put money into this Toyota. But this one being a manual and it running rough, I probably will not build this one. When I gave my brother this car, it was in pretty good shape. Since he's got it, if you tell by that little smack right there, he was actually hit in this car. I think he owned it for a week and got hit. And it actually hit him hard enough to tweak the trunk. See this body gap here? And then this body gap here? it actually twisted the trunk to the point where he couldn't open or close it anymore, and he actually had to put a pry bar into the trunk and get it to shove over. Another thing that's happened is someone tried to steal his gas about a month ago, he said, so this has been stuck in there about a month. But I don't know how he's even put gas into it with that thing stuffed in there. I guess he just puts the nozzle right up to the end of it. I would have cut it shorter at least, so that way you could shut your door, but said it happened to him on a job site, but I guess, you know what, Toronto people are weird, that's for sure. My brother's about 21 years old now, and he's got a nasty habit of ripping off all his passenger mirrors. His Audi, the passenger mirror was smashed off, and on this car's passenger mirror has been smashed off. I know on his Audi, it happened to him in Toronto, somebody came and encroached on his lane and took it off. I'm not sure how this one got ripped off, but I'm pretty sure it's his fault. Well, now that we got ourselves another Toyota Camry, this brings it up to, I think, 7 Toyota Camrys on my property, but only 2 of them are mine, because I've sold all the rest of them. Now, this being a manual, nobody really wants to buy manual stuff. I prefer it. I find that manual stuff, the axles stay in better, and I find that parts in the front end just kind of hold together better, because you're able to take the power off and on as you need it. It kind of makes sense to me. I've had Cavaliers that are manual hold together much better than automatic Cavaliers. Even that Mazda I ran was manual, and I found the front end stayed together very good. This car here, if we build it, this one would probably be a stock show, 0 to little welding, and it'd be cool to see how this thing turns out, that's for sure. I do like manuals. I have no problem driving a manual. In the past, I think I've taken a total of about 9 manual cars into the demolition derby ring, and I've never once burnt the clutch out of any of them. So I'm pretty good when it comes to that. The truck I drive every day, the 3500 series Dodge, is a manual Dodge, so I am very comfortable driving manual. But we'll see what happens to this car. Who knows? But it's always good to have another Camry in our backyard, because Camrys are getting very hard to find and people want a lot of money for these Camrys. But thanks for watching Zach's Workshop. Make sure you guys hit that like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.